NextView and SAP. We'll start off with a short introduction. My name is Pieter Hendrikx, Senior Consultant and BI Lead at the NextView. And we have a special guest today.
Yes, I'm John Armitage, the Chief Product Designer for Visual Analytics at SAP.
Okay, well John, thanks for being here. We are really proud of having you. We've got a couple of topics we would like to cover with you. But first, perhaps you can say something more about your role at SAP and what user experience means.
Sure. I've been working in user experience at SAP since 2004, leading teams working around the world for historically the business objects suite of products. And since then, working more closely on visualization, what we call visual analytics, and how to improve the ability for people to consume visual analytics to help them make decisions. And in my role as Chief Product Designer, I've been doing research into ways to make numbers more accessible to people in making decisions in the workplace.
This subject is on balancing between art and science. Science is focused on effective data visualization based on principles like from people like Stephen Few or Edward Tufte. On the other hand, you have the art topic, which focuses on how nice things look. There you get the area, for example, flashy things, pie charts, gouges, etc. I think it's important to find balance between art and science. What is your take on that subject?
It is absolutely, and our industry, because it's so new and we're trying to tame complexity, that the simplicity, the science of cognition and such, has been one of the biggest concerns and focuses. Donald Norman, in fact, wrote a book maybe 10 years ago on the subject of emotion in design and how this has a big impact. And actually, this is an old topic. So my studies focused on graphic design in college and graduate school. And we were introduced to this notion that is well known in graphic design between legibility and readability. And legibility is the scientific capability of a person to read text. Is the text big enough? Do they recognize the letter forms and the language? And can they consume the actual content? And that, of course, is a big part of graphic design. The other side is the readability, and that's used to refer to the audience, a person's motivation to consume the content, to read, to approach the information. And this is part of the seduction of graphic design and communication and persuasion, that it's not sufficient to just have a legible solution. The solution must be readable, and so it must be approachable. It must make the user, we call them audience in graphic design. Now they're users because they're interacting. But the audience feels comfortable, they're seduced into consuming the data. There's something that catches their interest through, and this is typically in graphic design through photography, through illustration, and the clever layering and mixing of the text with the image. And so there is an aspect of this to visualization. Most of the major issues that we have to solve up to this time have been more on the legibility side. How do we get the data legible? But this readability, as you call the art, or as Donald Norman calls the emotional side, is an important part. But we kind of have to solve the big question of this familiarity and the legibility first.
Okay. And do you also see some influence from the gaming industry in this area? Because gamification is a topic that comes up now and then.
Right. Yes, and we have several people at SAP that are looking at this gamification topic. Mario Herger is one of them, who's actually written a book on gaming for enterprise topics. It is important. Gaming is, in a way, hyper-usability that is a usability and a seduction so compelling that it's addictive almost. The advantage or the aspect of that makes it somewhat easier for that end result is that the content is so engaging. It's It's fun. It's designed to be fun. It's not toil. There's aspects of that we can transfer to work, but it's a bit more of a challenge because but in a way, life is a game, right? Or games are actually referencing life.
Yeah.
So to the effect that we can leverage a lot of the techniques, the ideas of motivation and engagement, and the system engaging with the person, following their lead, and being responsive so that the person and the system have this dialogue. I think that's what gaming has pioneered, this tight turnaround. So we try to do this in visualization, that the user feels like the system is responding to them and giving them rich feedback.
Yeah. Okay, cool.